from their voters. They're saying, refreshingly, that what matters is the truth.
My vote to impeach our sitting president is not a fear-based decision. I am not choosing a side. I'm choosing truth. It's the only way to defeat fear.
Joining me now is Rick Wilson, co-founder of the Lincoln Project. And Rick, great to see you as always. Let's talk about sort of the decisions that people are making. You had Jason Crow, Representative Jason Crow came on. He was on with Chuck Todd earlier. He said, look, some of these members are scared they're going to get killed. They're afraid for their families' lives. Are we at the point now where Republicans simply fear their voters?
I spoke to two members of Congress today, neither of whom, by the way, voted for impeachment, who told me that one of them said flat out, if I vote against it, I will never know when they'll kill my wife or my kids or me. Okay? They are terrified of the mob. And that's what the mob did. The purpose of terrorism is to terrorize. Donald Trump is the leader of a terrorist faction, of a terrorist group that terrorized the Congress. They accomplished their mission. When it came to the Republicans, the ones who really believe in Trumpism, it's a handful. It's, 25, 35 of those idiots. The Matt Gaetz, Jim Jordan types. A lot of the rest of them are just absolutely living in stark terror that Donald Trump's mob will come and kill them. I mean, that's not a country that we thought we lived in, where the warlord will send his minions at you if you don't agree with everything he says. So it is a dark moment for the Republican Party.
Absolutely, because then what you get, you mentioned Matt Gaetz. Well, here he is in performance along with Representative Ken Buck.
Before the rioters tore through that glass, Speaker Pelosi stood at that rostrum and tore through the president's State of the Union speech, inciting anger, resentment, division.
Then the socialists in Hollywood joined their allies in Congress. Robert De Niro said that he wanted to punch the president in the face. Madonna thought about blowing up the White House. Kathy Lee Griffin held up a likeness of the president's beheaded head.
So Hollywood is the same thing as Donald Trump inciting an actual riot and a coup and tearing up Donald Trump's speech. I mean, the weird equivalence. And then you've also got Marjorie Taylor Greene literally on the House floor saying she's being silenced while she's on the House floor also on TV. Like the sort of what's left in the party is the ridiculous.
This whiny bitch victimhood from Matt Gaetz and Ken Buck and Jim Jordan and Marjorie Taylor Cuckoo QAnon Green and all these other people. It is the most pathetic example of special pleading I've ever seen. They act as if they've been oppressed somehow, that the world is against them somehow. Well, guess what? Twitter and Facebook aren't banning you because you're a conservative. They're banning you because you suck. They're banning you because you say evil shit. They're banning you because you support a revolution against the government of this country and a free and fair election. This is the most remarkable thing about this to me, is all these tough guy swagger monkeys who act like they're the big, alpha males. They're whining and bitching and moaning about Kathy Griffith holding up a mannequin head or Nancy Pelosi tearing up a piece of paper. Come on, guys, toughen up.
The thing is, I feel like, Rick, that this is one of those examples of when you open the door to the crazy and to the lunatics, they all come in. And then after a while, the first lunatics you let in, they seem fairly normal. Because I remember that when the Tea Party started and were hanging Barack Obama in effigy and bringing monkey dolls to their, their rallies. And Sarah Palin had rallies where people were screaming, kill him, about Barack Obama. Republicans reacted to that by letting them in the party and joining their caucus. I mean, Marco Rubio, you and I both know that Marco Rubio ain't a Tea Partier, but he was like, sure I am. Like, they all start to mimic the really extreme people. So do you feel, I mean, here's some of the people who organized this 1-6 rally. It includes the Tea Party Patriots. If we're going to put the list up.
Sure.
The Tea Party Patriots, the Phyllis Schlafly Eagles. The Phyllis Schlafly Eagles? I mean, isn't this an example of the party making itself crazy like 10 years ago and paying for it now?
Look, when we look back at the inflection points of the Tea Party movement, it was a legitimate thing for about a hot minute, and then it became a vector for the crazy. It became a vector for the people back then who were talking about Agenda 21 and, the world government and the UN invading Georgia. All this craziness. But let me tell you, Joy, next cycle, there will be more QAnon candidates than there are this cycle.
Yes.
Next cycle, it will be more crazy.
100%.
And by 4 or 5 years from now, if they don't purge it, this party's going to think that, you know, there's a child cannibal sex ring under a pizza restaurant running the world.
Yeah, I can't argue with that. Rick Wilson, thank you very much. Really appreciate you being here, and we'll be right back.
Thanks, Joel.